two subjects to take. One is your contemporary economic issues, and the other paper is research methodology. Now, I'll be orienting you for contemporary economic issues since I'll be taking the paper, just in case you plan to take it up, and as a consensus. So what is going to happen is that there'll be a Google form that will be circulated just in case as your GE is decided. So in that Google form, you will have two options. One will be research methodology. The other is the contemporary economic issues. Now, since I teach contemporary economic issues and I've been teaching it for a considerable amount of time, so I am doing the orientation for that, and Gaurav will be orienting you for research methodology. Now, for your papers, what you can do is you can go to my website and you can find the syllabus here. So if you go to courses and economic syllabus, econ syllabus, you can find it in semester 4. So semester 4, all of your papers are mentioned here. So one of these is contemporary economic issues. Do mind that this is the 2020 syllabus. 2021 syllabus will be updated. So whatever changes that will happen, I will let you know. So this is the paper for 2000, and the other paper is also there. Now, this is the 2016 paper, guys. If you talk about research methodology, this will be updated again, just in case you take up this examination, this particular option. Now, where is the paper? Hold on. Yeah. So this is the overall syllabus. Now let me go through the overall syllabus one by one and tell you in detail what we study and how this goes about. This will mean my current classes. Indian economy budget. Contemporary economic issues. And I'll take your questions, guys. After just let me explain, and then I'll take all of your questions as well. So if you see the paper, what happens is that this is a very contemporary paper. So I would highlight that who should definitely opt for this paper. Anyone who is going for any UPSC oriented exam, anyone who's going for any competitive exam, anyone who is going to take up MBA interviews or RBI exam or any banking exam that you might need to take. So for all these examinations, this paper is going to be very effective. Apart from that, this paper is also useful when you get into research, when you get into, so for example, macroeconomic work, if you want to get into, because this is a very practical paper. Now, as the word suggests, skill based का मतलब यही होता है कि you will learn a particular kind of a particular kind of a trade skill. So what is the trade skill being learned here? One is that you will know how to read the budget documents. So every year you might have seen कि हर साल budget आता है. Do you guys follow budget every year as an economic student? Guys, does anyone read the budget? कोई पढ़ता या पढ़ा है कभी? It's okay. It's okay. It seemed to be intimidating for me as well for a very long time. Anyone else? Guys, किसी ने पढ़ा हो कभी, कोशिश करी हो budget documents पढ़ने की? I can't hear you, Kashish. Your voice is not audible. In the initial part, what we will do is we will discuss the budget document, and we will go through what the budget making process is. We will understand that budget बनता कैसे है, budget के अंदर वो figures कैसे आती हैं. तो not just the theoretical process, but budget के अंदर बहुत सारे figures दे रखे होते हैं. For example, fiscal deficit, revenue deficit, primary deficit, effective revenue deficit. So when you read a economics paper, yojana is one thing, but at the same point of time, if you go through any newspaper, तो ये कुछ common terms वो हर जरूरी नहीं कि वो budget, for example, COVID की वजह से government of India has to borrow a lot, so उसकी वजह से उसका fiscal deficit, revenue deficit बहुत बढ़ेगा, but you need to know कि वो revenue deficit बढ़ क्यों रहा है, वो fiscal deficit बढ़ क्यों रहा है. So this particular part of the paper will explain and I'll explain कि not just the structural aspect of the budget, कि budget बनता कैसे है और कौन सी item कहाँ जाती है. And remember, it's not going to be the way in which you will just need to mug up things. If you mug up things, you will invariably realize कि आप बाद में कोई आपसे कभी question पूछेगा तो आप बता नहीं पाओगे. So the way it will be taught is that you will find it logical कि अच्छा fiscal deficit ये होना चाहिए, ठीक है, रेवेन्यू डेफिसिट ये होना चाहिए. सो दैट एस्पेक्ट की एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ द बजट की डॉक्यूमेंट बजट्स, वो जो है बजट के डॉक्यूमेंट्स वी विल अंडरस्टैंड, एंड देन वी विल आल्सो सी बजट एट अ ग्लांस की 2021-22 का बजट क्या है. रिमेंबर गाइस, जो बजट आने वाला है, बजट क्या होता है, बजट जो होता है वो आने वाले पीरियड के लिए होता है, प्रोस्पेक्टिव होता है. सो ऑन 1st February 2021 you will have the budget that will be presented by the finance minister, and that budget will be for the year 2021 to 2022. Why? Because these are basically revenue and expenditure estimates for, हम शुरू करेंगे 1st April 2021 से 31st March. This is a financial year. 2022 तक हमारे कितने खर्चे हैं, कितनी हमारी इनकम्स हैं, उसके बारे में देखेंगे. सो दिस इज व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू स्टडी कि उस बजट के अंदर, इस वाले बजट के अंदर क्या आएगा. फॉर एग्जांपल यू विल सी, आई एम टेलिंग यू बिफोर हैंड, यू विल सी इस वाले बजट के अंदर जब हम बजट पढ़ेंगे, बहुत सारी एस्टिमेट्स होंगे वो कोविड वैक्सीन को लेके होंगे कि कोविड वैक्सीन पे हम इतना खर्चा करने वाले, because it's going to be a huge task to kind of vaccinate 70% of or 50% of your population. So ये एक मेजर कंपोनेंट होगा. तो हम वो सारे कंपोनेंट देखेंगे कि इस साल का बजट कैसे चेंज हुआ. देन और वही ये सारी डॉक्यूमेंट्स, ये सारी चीजें उस डॉक्यूमेंट्स के बारे में बात कर रही हैं, फिस्कल डेफिसिट के बारे में बात कर रही हैं. And not only that, what I'll do is I'll focus on a lot of practical aspects, because the thing is that as a pre-read, what you can do is, if you go, if you have been through the channel that I have, if you have seen the playlists on my channel, तो उसमें contemporary economic issues का एक channel है, contemporary economic issues. So here I have discussed certain topics. For example, fiscal deficit की जो reading है वो already discussed है, ठीक है. GDP misestimated की already discussed है. ये change हो जाएंगे क्योंकि वो नए साल का सर्वे आएगा तो वो नई रीडिंग आएगी, बट ये आपको already discussed है. Fiscal deficit already discussed है, GST is already discussed, fiscal federalism is already discussed. So you can watch this as a pre-read, और मैं उसका उसका अपना website पे I will put up whatever updates that are there. And then what we will do is we will talk about more contemporary stuff. So इससे क्या होगा कि you will go through the reading beforehand, and then we can talk about new stuff which is not there in the reading. So and remember guys, this paper has to be checked by me. This is an SEC paper. I will check your final exam. So I would expect कि जो reading में दे रखा, for example you see this ये reading तो 2012 की है. So 2012 की reading तो चलो हमने cover कर ली, but what has happened in 2020? 2020 में गवर्नमेंट हमने अपना फिस्कल डेफिसिट यूजुअली कहते हैं कि हम 3.5% रखना चाहते हैं, 3.5 से 4%. बट बिकॉज ऑफ कोविड गवर्नमेंट का फिस्कल डेफिसिट विल बी समवेयर अराउंड 8%. ये एनालिसिस कहाँ आया है इसके अंदर? सो वी विल स्टडी नॉट ओनली टिल 2012, we will also study what is my pen not working? 2012 to 2020 also we will see what has happened, and I want you to update these figures. Then 14th again देखो एक और रीडिंग है 14th फाइनेंस कमीशन की. Now 14th फाइनेंस कमीशन is old, ये चेंज हो जाएगी रीडिंग बाय द वे, ये रीडिंग चेंज हो जाएगी. you will not have this, you will have the 15th फाइनेंस कमीशन की रिपोर्ट. ये जो 15th फाइनेंस कमीशन की रिपोर्ट है हम वो पढ़ेंगे कि क्या है. Again an article is already there on this. Again this particular reading is also available on the YouTube. This reading Arvind Subramaniam की reading on GST misestimation is also available. ठीक है, ये दोनों रीडिंग्स भी अवेलेबल हैं उसके ऊपर, and these will be updated on my website as well. So the updated version will be provided to you. Then comes, तो ये एक पार्ट हो गया. दिस इज पार्ट 1 ऑफ द कोर्स जिसके अंदर हम फिस्कल डेफिसिट, जीएसटी, जीडीपी एस्टिमेशन, बजट के बारे में बात करते हैं. द सेकंड एस्पेक्ट ऑफ दिस पेपर डील्स विद द इकोनॉमिक सर्वे, एंड इकोनॉमिक सर्वे is kind of a reflection back on what has happened throughout the year. So it's kind of reflecting back. So budget is always prospective, while economic survey is a reflective kind of a document whereby we see, जो हम economic survey पढ़ेंगे वो होगा 2020-21 का. क्योंकि हम उसमें देखेंगे कि इस पर्टिकुलर ईयर में हमारा प्रोग्रेस कैसा था, और वी विल सी हमारा इस पर्टिकुलर ईयर में मेजर एम्फेसिस जो था वो हेल्थ पे आएगा। और कोविड के दो चैप्टर, एटलीस्ट एक चैप्टर तो पूरा कोविड के ऊपर ही होगा, ठीक है, और वो 100% इंक्लूड होगा आपके सिलेबस के अंदर। सो दीज चैप्टर्स, ये जो है क्रिएटिंग जॉब्स, ये नहीं होगा आपके सिलेबस में। स्टेट ऑफ द इकोनॉमी हो सकता है, ये भी होगा, फिस्कल होगा, प्राइसेस होगा, एक्सटर्नल होगा, एक चैप्टर और हो जाएगा, बट एक कोविड का चैप्टर जरूर होगा आपके उसके अंदर, सिलेबस के अंदर। सो वी विल सी कि व्हाट हैज बीन द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ कोविड ऑन द इंडियन इकोनॉमी और वो सारी चीजें। This section is basically a start section, which is regarding the industrial revolution. Most of you might have heard that we are amidst the fourth industrial revolution. Fourth revolution किस चीज का है? Fourth industrial revolution is basically driven by AI, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस का रेवोल्यूशन है, एंड मशीन लर्निंग का रेवोल्यूशन है, ऑटोनॉमस मशीन्स का रेवोल्यूशन है. सो हाउ इज इट चेंजिंग द ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी, द वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी, एंड व्हाट इज गोइंग टू बी द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ दिस ओवरऑल ऑन द वर्ल्ड. So that kind of a paper we are going to see in this. ठीक है, बट अभी अभी तक ये जो पूरा सेक्शन है वो स्टार्ट है. वी विल लेट यू नो कि वेदर दिस पेपर विल बी चेंज, या इस पेपर के अंदर ये आप कुछ ऐड कर रहे हैं, या वो जो भी है आपको पढ़ना है या नहीं पढ़ना है उसके बारे में, दैट वी विल सी. बट फॉर नाउ this is what is there in the paper. Now, time for you guys to ask questions. Ki any question that you would like to ask for this particular paper, yeah, any clarifications that you would need of how I'm going to progress, or why you should study this paper or not. Any questions, guys? The floor is open to you.
Sir, is it all theoretical?
Theoretical, how do you define, Nishanvi, theoretical?
As in, will we have some analytical problems and stuff like that, or is going to be like macro or semester 2, which is a lot of theory?
It's kind of a macro, but you will have a couple of numericals, very simple numericals. One will be on BOP, where you will be asked to find out the current account deficit, the capital account balance, reserves, and the other will be on fiscal deficit and revenue deficit. So these are going to be a couple of practical, simple arithmetic questions. But apart from that, this is a more policy oriented paper where you will be asked about, there will be certain questions about GST misestimation, and then you would have to give arguments. So it's kind of a paper in public policy, as opposed to say hardcore economics. But yes, economics is an overwhelming part of it, but it's kind of overlapping with public policy as well.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions, guys?
Yes, sir. So you mentioned that we'll be required to do basic arithmetic, but having an experience of economics and knowing that maths is like an intensive part of it. So is this course going to be like very intimidating in terms of the expressions and
No, not at all. Not at all. I'll
because like
I'll show you the readings. I'll just hold on. Even before, I should have shown you the readings. Let me show you. um, uh, Concept and status of GST. So this is basically defining what GST is, how it was introduced. So these are the way that I give my mock readings as well. So basically, most of it is kind of policy behind GST. So no, you will not find any mathematical expressions here in this paper. Simple algebra, I mean, of course, I would assume that you should know how to add and subtract. So that is the kind of a numerical that is asked. Let me show you highlights of the budget. So let me show you the kind of numerical that is asked also. Budget at a glance. So this is the first document that you will study. So these are the numbers that will be given to you, and you will be asked to find out this, you will be asked to find out this, you will be asked to find out this. See, this is simple arithmetic that you need to do, and you need to know that what 13 is, what 11 is, what 14 is. So the simple basic arithmetic is required. Then chapters from economic survey are not challenging at all. Some concerns that this is another paper that is there in your syllabus. So it's theoretical in the sense, but it's theoretical in sense of practical aspects of what is happening in the economy. So you can relate stuff to the contemporary happenings. So in that sense, not theoretical, but if you compare it to say micro one or macro or mathematics, yes, it's not mathematical at all.
So there are no Greek and Latin symbols, right?
You can.
I'm saying there are no Greek and Latin symbols involved,
No,
right?
no, no. Don't worry. I will take up the Greek and Latin symbols when I teach econometrics. I am storing all of that for econometrics. So this is the good cop, bad cop strategy. I am the good cop here. The bad cop will come when I teach econometrics. Any other questions, guys?
Okay, sir.
और कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है किसी को? अच्छा. Okay. So what I'll do is. You can, if you want to make a relatively more informed decision, what you can also do is you just go to or what I'll do is I'll also upload this on my website, but you can go to my channel on YouTube, The Pink Professor, and on that just go through the contemporary economic issues. These are the hold on, someone has these are the different chapters that I've explained, because of COVID I could not take classes, so all of these were uploaded on the web on the YouTube. What I'll also do is the way that I teach, as in case that the link that I provided you here in the lectures, you will have today, you will have another stream here, which will be contemporary economic issues, and I'll be uploading all the lecture notes and the videos on that. So you can go through those lecture notes and videos and then take an informed decision of what kind of a paper that you want to take up. So rest is I mean your choice, whatever you want, we will follow that, and I'll be more than happy to see you in this particular class, just in case you take it. Any other questions, guys? Last minute questions?
So what is the last date to make the choice, as in?
I mean, I'm waiting for Gaurav to orient you guys. So jab tak Gaurav orient nahi karega, I can't float the this particular choice. What I'll do is I'll float the Google form, but I would still suggest that you fill that Google form only after or getting the orientation from Gaurav regarding research methodology, because I think he'll be taking up that paper.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Malvika.
So regarding the orientation from Gaurav sir, we'll have it most probably today in the evening itself. So that won't be an issue. What I wanted to confirm from you is, like, this is a doubt regarding this course. You mentioned that the people who would be appearing for MBAs also it would be great if they take this subject,
Yes.
right? So how is this subject going to help them in like their future aspect?
In MBA, Malvika?
Yes, sir.
So this is from an experience that I've had during CAT interviews. The first question in any MBA exam, in any MBA interview as an economics grad, will be for you to answer what is fiscal deficit, why is it expanding? And trust me, if you take a survey of not only students but even most of the teaching fraternity, most of you will not be able to tell you what fiscal deficit is unless they've learned it. Now, so these key terms about fiscal deficit, revenue deficit, or what is happening in the Indian economy, what has happened in this particular budget, and this is all what is expected out of you as an economics grad, because this is the practical aspect. बजट हैज टू डू, बजट तो हर कोई पढ़ता है, बजट तो ऐसी चीज है जो पॉलिटिशियन से लेके नॉर्मल इंसान तक को रीच करती है, एंड यू शुड नो हाउ टू रीड दैट पर्टिकुलर डॉक्यूमेंट. And this is where when your interview stage comes, it will be helpful, and not just in your interviews, when you go for your MBA, in that also you will have a couple of papers of Indian economy. There also you will have practical aspects. So if you read any business newspaper, you will not be able to completely comprehend it until unless you know the nuances of government financing. one aspect will be covered here. The other aspect of government financing will also be understood through when you study public finance in your third year. So जो आपका एक public finance का paper है जो आप third year में पढ़ोगे, उसका कुछ portion I will already cover in this particular paper, which will be 15th Finance Commission. So public finance is divided into theoretical public finance and Indian public finance. So Indian public finance you would have already studied through me, and it will be easier for you to go through that. So this is how it helps you in your MBA. So not per se CAT, but suppose you have other examination or interviews, it will help you there. Even in your placement interviews, I'm sure that people who come for the interviews will definitely ask you a couple of questions on the current developments of the Indian economy, and you should not be found wanting as an economics grad when it comes to contemporary issues. I hope I've addressed your question, Malvika. Any other question, guys? Yes, Diksha.
So for someone who wants to pursue data science after undergraduation, is this subject helpful?
Data science per se, I don't think, Diksha, this will address data science per se. Unfortunately, I don't think even the other subject would be able, because practical data science, if you ask me, because I am a trained data scientist, so I would say these are all both these papers are theoretical. Even research methodology is not an application based paper. Yes, you would know the certain aspects of research, but when it comes to data science, you have to learn a particular language, and that has to be either R or Python, and you have to do it. It's a heuristical approach. So heuristical approach is basically when you learn it while doing it. So data science has to be a heuristical approach. You would probably have to take up a course in Python or R, along with having a strong background in mathematics and econometrics. So after your course, after I teach you econometrics, I would say that course will definitely treat you. That course will definitely help you in data science rather than either research or this particular paper.
All right, so thank you.
And even just a second, Swasti, even before you start econometrics, after your exams, I would need you to go through a particular course in Coursera. I would need all of you to go through certain basic aspects of Python, at least how to install it and how to run a couple of commands, because Python and R is what I'll be relying to teach you practical econometrics. Yes, Swasti, you were asking something.
Yes, sir. So for research and methodology, I'm aware that the internal assessment consists of us doing some research project. What would
Yes.
be your trajectory for this particular course?
For this particular course, this is completely open to me. What happens in an SEC course is the instructor has the leverage of whatever project that he wants to take up. So what I would plan to do is do a practical aspect of budgeting, perhaps compare. Divide you into groups and compare India's finances, India's fiscal deficit versus, say, New Zealand. So this is another project that I'm doing recently, that New Zealand recently, last year actually introduced well-being budget. So can that be introduced in case of India? So that kind of a project-based internals we will be doing, or say what can be done to reduce the fiscal deficit. So certain kind of projects that we can think of, innovative projects that we can think of regarding the overall budgeting or whatever policy document that we can create. So again, all of this is completely left to me. Perhaps in the end, I will also try to use a little bit of econometrics. If you can use some bit of econometrics using data, if you can analyze something, that will also do. So I'll try to introduce a project in this and a small internal. I think that should comprise of your internal assessment. Okay, I think we are done for the day then. So I'm floating the Google form, but please do not fill that Google form until unless Gaurav has addressed you regarding research methodology. Since he is the instructor for that, I would like you to have the opportunity to go through that particular course as well. I have my own biases towards this particular paper, but you should be unbiased while taking an optimal choice. Fine. So thank you very much, guys, and all the best for your examination.